How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Bochum Career Mode. It's going to be episode number 47, and we've got some interesting games in today's episode. We've got, I think it's a game against Frankfurt, game against Hannover, and to finish off the episode we have Union Berlin. So some very winnable games in there. Frankfurt maybe not so much. I was hoping for just a decent performance. And the other two games I was expecting a win there and maybe to kickstart our season possibly and hopefully get into those places of the top 10. I know we're starting the episode off, I think, in the relegation zone in 16th place, so I wasn't all that hopeful, but I was hoping for something, and maybe some good performances by some individuals would maybe get us through. You can see some scout reports we had, some average players in there. We were just going through them quite quickly. If I find somebody really good, I'll start talking about them, but at the moment there's some okay youth players. There's not some world-class one really yet. I think Germany, we had a couple of okay ones as well. Yeah, Vandenberg. There's two Vandenbergs, I think, now in our academy. So some interesting players with okay potential, but no world-class superstars like when we got Olkowski, who I think was already worth about $1.5 million. So none of those sorts of players yet, and you can just see the games we've got coming up. In the next episode, we've got the cup game against Hoffenheim, so some chances for some younger players to maybe prove themselves. Even though I'd love to go on a bit of a cup run, I think in the early stages we have to play some younger players. Thomas Kraft will be starting in that game as well, so some players maybe returning to the squad that haven't played for a little while yet, but we'll talk about that in the next episode. Going into the first game, we obviously have Frankfurt now. I hadn't quite fixed my solution to what I was going to do in this one. It's not really a fix, it's just I'm not going to show you these intro bits. I'm just going to show you my lineup, my opposition's lineup, and that'll be it really. So hopefully that's okay. I know it's nice to see these cutscenes, but it's just not worth showing them if you can barely see any information apart from the pictures of the players. So you'll see that a little bit later on in the next two games. But we started this game off quite well. I think it was a little bit more of an end-to-end game against Frankfurt. They had a majority of possession, and they actually did get the first goal with Calvert-Lewin heading in with basically a free header. Really nice ball in, but we've really struggled with balls into the box. And I think it's mainly due to me just bringing players out of position. Udoakai should have been in the box there, but he was on the right-hand side trying to cover. And Calvert-Lewin was up against Munoz. Absolutely no chance for him to win that against the dominant striker there, the former Everton man, who is known for his heading ability, and we just couldn't really stop it there. So really poor chance to concede there, and I think Frankfurt were sort of on the front foot at this point. We did have a couple of decent chances towards the end. One chance there was quite nice, and yeah, I think end-to-end is probably the right way to describe that first half, even though Frankfurt had the majority of possession. And this was probably a really nice bit of play that we put together, probably the best bit of play we put together in the second half, as Rougeau just couldn't put that in the back of the net. And from the corner that we had, it played it short and just couldn't get it in the back of the net there. Shame, we did cause a little bit of panic in Frankfurt's sort of penalty area, so I think set pieces in this game were quite crucial to us. We tried to make the most out of them, but it wasn't a set piece we'd score from, as Moussa Kone, newly on the pitch, literally had just come on, and they were his first few touches of the ball. Set up by another new man who'd just come on the pitch, Konate in left back. He is actually a right back. But a nice little ball, a nice bit of hold-up play from him. But most of the work was done by Moussa Kone, and a great goal to get him his first goal of the season. And he performed quite well when he came on, to be honest. He really did cause the Frankfurt defence some problems. His pace is really, really difficult to deal with. Sadly, we did go ahead and concede. We were trying to push forward and maybe get something from the game, and sadly, just sloppy play right through Manuel Neuer's legs. Not sure if he should be doing better there. I know it's hit quite quickly at him, but probably a bit of a mistake. He shouldn't be going through Neuer's legs there. And Skiri gets his first goal of the season for Frankfurt. We did try and get back into the game, and this was probably our best chance. Ejaria just putting it wide. Sadly for us, in the dying stages of the game, Embolo would get through our defence and score the winner. And it was such a shame, because we'd really put in a decent shift in this game, to be honest. Frankfurt probably fully deserving of all 3 points, but I think we deserve to maybe come back and get a draw or something, because I think our players really did play quite well. Considering the performance we've had of recently, that was probably our best performance all season, and we lost it 3-1. We produced quite a few decent chances, we just didn't have the possession. So coming into the next game, I was looking to make a couple of changes, but not too many, as I think we had some really good performances. Moussa Kone and definitely Konate deserved to start in the next game, and I think Janelt played quite well as well. So Yeah, it gave me a few sort of dilemmas really of who I should actually play. As I was going to go down this more narrow 4-1-2-1-2 formation, we didn't really have a need for wingers, so it meant that Olkowski, Shipnowski returning as well would sort of find their place in jeopardy. And also Rougeau and Kone, they'd have to try and work themselves into different positions. I think Rougeau I'm looking to play more centrally in that sort of attacking midfielder role, and Kone would obviously go back to his more natural striking role. Even though he's been playing on the wing the past 2 seasons, I still think he's got something, as he showed in that game against Frankfurt. And you can see there, that is the lineup we started with, and this was the team we were facing against Hannover 96. So Simon Zoller would return. I believe he's in his 30s now, facing us. Not very high rated, but did cause us a couple of problems in this game. He's still got a little bit of pace about him. That wouldn't matter though, as the first chance would come to us. Janelt, captain of the team, would go ahead and put us in the lead in the first 6 minutes. Really nice finish from Vitali, and he would get his first goal of the season. He's actually been a really solid player this year. He's now 75 rated, so in Ultimate Team he's a gold card, and he's really put in a decent shift in that defensive mid spot. We did start him on that sort of left-hand side of the midfield in this game, and he did put in a decent shift, as I said. So overall, first half, really bit boring. Only real chances were the ones that you saw, and overall, I think we deserved to maybe edge it. We had the only chance of the game that was on target, and in the second half, we came out and just were looking a little bit calamitous in defence. But we put together a nice little bit of play here, and Gonvula puts us ahead in the 63rd minute, making it 2-0 away from home. And this was going to be a crucial game, as we don't seem to play very well away from home at the moment this season. And that bit of play there was probably the best we've seen all season. Really nice link-up play between Ajaria, Kone and Gonvula, our 3 attacking players in this game. And 4th goal of the season for Gonvula. He looks like he is back on track to maybe start putting in some decent performances and becoming our top scorer again. I think he was our top scorer last year as well, but overall, Gonvula's played really well in this game. A couple of games more recently, he's been a little bit missing, and it's sort of led me to believe maybe Sargent, maybe Kone should be starting ahead of him. This game definitely showed Gonvula was playing well. He had some good hold-up play and overall played pretty decently, I'd say, so not too bad. And overall, they did go ahead and pick up a consolation goal, but it would mean nothing, as we did manage to defend the lead and pick up 3 points away from home against Hannover. Really good performance overall. I think defensively we were much better, and I think, yeah, Moussa Kone again picks up man of the match, or picks up best player in the team and man of the match in the game. And yeah, he was great. He did ask to start the game, and he played like he deserved to be in the team. And in the next game, he earned himself another start. Josh Sargent really finding it difficult to get into the team, with Gonvula and Kone playing relatively well. I'm not going to drop Gonvula over a couple of bad games. It will be Kone that would be dropped based off performances, and it's making it difficult for me to start Josh Sargent. And even Theo Bair, he's not even started a game this season, I don't think. So overall, I think players have gone, not missing, but I think players have been unlucky to not even get a sort of sniff into the first team. So we went into the next game, and the final game on today's episode against Union Berlin, playing relatively well. Good game against Frankfurt, really good performance against Hannover, with some shaky couple of sort of minutes, really, sort of shaky moments of the game. And again, we just sort of had those little 10-minute bursts of where we just lacked a little bit of concentration at the back here, and in the first maybe 20 minutes, we just weren't quite on it. And you can see here, if Union Berlin had their shooting boots on, they maybe would have had a couple of goals in the first half, really. You can see here, this was our only real chance here. Godin breaking free, puts the ball in, just not good enough in terms of the final pass there. And again, really shaky. Luckily, Manuel Neuer was there to make the save. I'm not going to say that Thomas Kraft wouldn't have saved that, but that is the sort of save I've brought in and paid that sort of money to bring him in. And luckily for us, and probably unluckily for Union Berlin, a slide tackle was put in. I didn't think it was a foul initially, but actually it was definitely a penalty there. Catches Godin as he was about to cross it, and it was definitely a penalty. And the man that we brought in as our record signing, I believe it is, would go ahead and put it in the back of the net. Ilkay Gundogan, I believe he's a good penalty taker in real life. I'm not sure how many he's scored. I think he does take them occasionally for City. Goes ahead and puts it in the back of the net, and we go ahead in at half time. Very lucky. Very, very lucky. And again, we switched off for the first 10 minutes of this first half. Just, you can see there, the calamitous defensive mistakes we made in the box there from their corner, and overall we were just a little bit poor. We did start to maybe get back into the second half with a chance here. Really nice shot from Musakone and a good save from Gajkovic in goal for Union Berlin. And again, another ball put in, causing the Berlin defence some problems there. And it's actually a really good save. Probably Olkowski should have done a little bit better, but overall good save from the goalkeeper. It was dealt with. And again, another chance there. Gonvula not quite able to put that in the back of the net. Oh no, sorry, it was Musakone that had the chance there. Not quite able to put it in. And overall, we would finish victors of the game 1-0. And we've put together a run of games. 2 wins, yes, but we've put together a run of 3 games, I think, that we've really deserved a win from. And probably even go back to maybe Mönchengladbach, where we actually put in a really decent shift against them as well. So I think overall we've put in a good performance, and we finished the episode off in 10th place. Really, really happy with that. Yes, it's not the best start to the season. 3 wins, 1 draw, but 5 losses. We really need to push on and maybe get some draws and wins as we maybe get further into the season, and maybe take a few less losses as we finish off the first half of the season. But overall, I'm quite happy with that. Halfway through the first half of the season, 10 points, 9 games played. It's not too bad. And we'll go into the next episode with a positive mindset and hopefully with some more wins being put on the board. That is going to be the end of the episode. Do hope you enjoyed watching. Do leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Career Mode very soon. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.